Hey, Legal Rebels, this is Tom Martin. I'm the founder of LawDroid, and this is my podcast, LawDroid Manifesto, where I interview legal innovators about how they do what they do. In this episode, I interview Valentin and Alex, co-founders of FutureLaw, about how they pulled off the largest legal innovation conference in Northern Europe and how Estonia has uniquely positioned itself as one of the most tech-progressive countries in the world. Hey there, welcome to the LawDroid Manifesto podcast. I'm Tom Martin. I'm your host today, but I'm really excited to have my guest today. So my guests today are Valentin Feklistov and Alex Bitskov, who are the founders, originators, creators of FutureLaw, the conference that I wrote about that I attended in May. It was May 16th to 17th in Tallinn, Estonia. And I think I'm not alone in thinking it was a uniquely wonderful experience. A lot of the panelists that I attended with and spoke to afterwards, and a lot of the attendees really enjoyed it. It was, I think that we described it as kind of like the Goldilocks of conferences, because it wasn't too big, it wasn't too small, it was just right. And I have Valentin and Alex to thank for that. So Valentin and Alex, Valentin, maybe if you go first and just introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Tom, for your kind words. We also enjoyed very much this conference because the public was amazing and so much diverse from 40 countries almost. It's amazing for Estonia, especially because we are quite small country and it's difficult to create a purely international events in such a small country. So we really enjoyed it, and thank you very much as well. Yes, as you already introduced me, I'm a co-founder of this conference and also CEO. I run operations, partnerships, and different administrative stuff in order to be sure everything works smoothly and in a proper way. That would be me.
And you, Alex?
Yeah, so very briefly, yes, I'm Alex. Thank you so much for your kind words. Just like Valentin said, yeah, it was a very interesting experience. We tried to make this conference not like a legal conference, but more like a startup conference in that kind of style. So I think that's kind of what made it stand out and what made it a little bit more fun. But yeah, a very little bit about me. Yes, I'm also the co-founder, and I primarily focus on the brand identity design and like part of sales and marketing and actually hosting the conference. There's actually a lot, and production as well. So like it's a kind of a two-man team mostly, but of course there are other people that are helping us. Yeah, this is me.
Awesome. So for the benefit of people that are watching and listening that didn't go to FutureLaw, or maybe haven't read my article yet where I recapped it. So it was a 2-day conference that happened in Tallinn, Estonia, and I think you billed it as the the big Northern European legal technology conference. Is that right? Or
yes,
the biggest
Nordic?
That's
the
correct.
largest legal tech conference in Northern Europe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which it definitely felt like. And for me, like, I'd never been to Tallinn, Estonia before. I've been to Eastern Europe. I've been to I guess as far as Denmark, but I hadn't really been to the Baltic countries, and I mean, it was gorgeous. I won't go into that right now, but 2-day conference, lots of different sessions from many different thought leaders throughout the world, and meeting a mix of people from from Estonia, of course, Sweden, Norway, Finland, lots of Finns there because it's just across the water, and people from Germany and the UK and all over. And there were also workshops that were available during the sessions actually where people could learn about legal design and other topics in more detail. Astrid was there and had a workshop on legal design. So that's kind of like the scope of this. And there were so many people, and being able to organize that and collaborate on that, it was quite an achievement. So I guess just to fill out that picture, a little, if you could share with me some stats, like how many people attended, how many sessions were there, just so we could look at some of the numbers. How did that work out?
Yeah, sure. It's let's start with the general statistic probably. And I would say that it was around 400 people overall, 2 days. The first day was mostly people attended the first day. Some people attended the second day. It was clearly seen that during the second day it was less people because we sold tickets on both days and on separate days as well. So overall it was around 400 people and people from 40 countries worldwide. So it was quite international event for us, for the region especially. And anything else maybe you would like to ask about the statistics, numbers? I don't know.
How many
what the
sessions were
audience
there?
would like to like. How many sessions? It was 25 sessions and 9 workshops.
Oh, wow. Okay. And yeah, I mean, it looked at some points like there was standing room only. You know, for people that are listening, the venue was it was what was it actually? It was at the port, but I'm not sure what it was called. What was that?
It is actually the cruise terminal of the port of Tallinn, where the cruise ships dock.
Okay. Yeah, it was quite modern and beautiful, and yeah, I didn't realize that it was a cruise ship terminal essentially, because it was
Actually it's a restricted zone. That's why there was a security at the gate, and why the entrance to the venue was so strict, why we were so demanding in relation to this, because it was a requirement from the Tallinn port, and it's half owned entity by the government of Tallinn city. So it's almost like a government space, you know.
Yeah,
And
it's large enough for 1.5 thousand people, so 1,500. But you can also segment the place. So our place was segmented into 2 parts. But you can actually open all, open it so you can have one open segment instead of 3 segments. We only had 2. You could have 3, and then you can have a massive event. Also. But yes, even with us, we took 2 segments up, which was enough. If Valentin, correct me if I'm wrong, for 800 people, was it?
well, actually not. It was okay for 600 people, as per the instructions we received from the cruise terminal. So yes. But we separated the venue into 2 parts, one for the main stage and the other one for workshops, as well as the networking and food zone, in order to provide some space during the networking sessions. So it was really comfortable from our point of view as well. We really enjoyed the event, also because the venue was quite great. For instance, last year we had a conference at the hotel conference rooms, It was also a really great event, but we received some feedbacks from the audience that there was not enough space, for example. Especially sponsors said that there was not enough space for networking. We had only 3 booths, for example, last event. This event was much bigger. And that's why we decided to stick for this venue, despite it being really expensive. And it was not really easy to get it because we had to wait for half of a year in order to to confirm it. We only confirmed it in the end of January, actually. So it was a risk for us as well, but we knew that it's worth of risk. That's why we waited so long.
Yeah, it was definitely a great bet because I didn't go last year, but I heard great things about the conference last year, and to think of it in a different venue, it just doesn't seem like a hotel venue. It you know it's an ordinary tone, right? Because there's a lot of conferences at a hotel, and things kind of feel similar that way. But this venue, it just was striking. I mean, on the port, the view, especially when the sun was coming down and
Yeah.
Yeah.
casting across the water, I mean, it was just absolutely gorgeous. Um, okay, so there's that. That's the context. That's kind of the stats of how many people attended. Also, just to point out that you guys kept it lively. Like, it was definitely moving from session to session, like one after the other. Alex, by the way, he was on stage, telling like lawyer jokes, all along the way. How was that, by the way? Did you feel a lot of pressure to put those jokes together?
You know what? That I hope my connection is okay. In the
Yeah.
beginning, I was trying to feel the room. Are they going to laugh at my jokes or cringe at my jokes? So I was hoping they would laugh, but they didn't. And I'm like, okay, then it's a cringe fest. So I'm going to be like telling the I'm going to be for the rest of the event. I decided to tell the jokes that would make people cringe a bit more than laugh. And I think it was a great success. But it didn't discourage me that they didn't laugh in the beginning. And sometimes the audience was completely quiet, and then I saw some people physically cringe from the joke, and that was so funny for me. But yeah, that was great.
But Alex was quite polite this time. He was very correct. Because last conference his jokes were much more sharp. And, and by the way, people laughed a lot, despite they being sometimes, even maybe for some people, not for all, insulting, but still, people liked it a lot, very much. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciated the jokes myself because like, yeah, at the beginning, not a lot of people were laughing, but I think everyone appreciated the effort because, conferences could get a bit stale, or they can get like very heady, right? There's a lot of like big concepts being discussed, and there's a lot to think about. So to have it interspersed with these jokes, even though they were corny and kind of like, corny dad jokes kind of in that vein, it was still fun for Alex to make the effort. And towards the end, I think everybody softened up a bit and was enjoying themselves. So
Yeah, it was actually a challenge for me also to find the right jokes because I didn't want to be insulting. And a lot of lawyer jokes that I found were very like I felt were too much. Like it was like about lawyers dying and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, that's not funny. Like to me, if I was a professional in this industry, I would not find them funny at all. So I decided not to take the risk with those crazy insulting jokes, and I just went for the really like the one-liners or the two-liner jokes. Yeah.
yeah, and besides the jokes, there was also at the end there was a kind of like a party that happened where you had dancers come out, and there was
Yeah.
a DJ, what MC fake what Versace?
Fake Versace. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it was fake Versace.
Yeah, and dancers and stuff. Like, how did that come together? How did you guys think of that? And where did you find the talent for that?
Well, actually, I just make a short introduction into how it actually happened. We just wanted to create a party after the event because a lot of people last year told us that it could be great to have a party after the event in order to network a little bit more in a comfortable and smooth environment, let's say. That's why we decided that we need to create a party as well. And as to those who danced and performed, these are people that Alex and Georgi found, actually.
Cool.
Georgi, it's our associate who also helped us a lot with organization, sales, and marketing as well.
Well, it was definitely a lot of fun, and it brought like a different feel to it than I've experienced it at other conferences. It made it feel quite a bit younger and like more energetic and like, a great opportunity to meet everyone else in a different context where it felt more like almost like a nightclub and set the tone because that night I actually got to go out with some of the other panelists and I had made some friends and we went to some of the different karaoke Finnish karaoke clubs, which was
Finish.
interesting around the way. Yeah, so that was cool. So that's great. Now that we've set the scene of the conference, the subject matter, the people there, like how big it was and the entertainment, let's talk a little bit about how it all came together because I think, this was your second year and I'd love to learn the origin story about how this all came together. Uh, Valentin, can you share some of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, me and Alex, we are legal tech founders. That's how we came into the legal tech space. I've been a lawyer for over 15 years. Alex been a multimedia expert and startup entrepreneur also for many years. And he's a cousin of my wife. She introduced him to me. We started to talk and finally we formed our initial team to found our startup, Legit app, that actually connects lawyers, clients, lawyers and lawyers, clients and clients, etc. And provides them with fully automated platform in order to interact between themselves. At certain points, we decided to join some like-minded people in several networks. These were ELTA and also this global legal tech hub. And during this time, we conducted many webinars with different great experts from different parts of the world. We got to know a lot of people as well. I also knew a lot of people from the legal industry as well because I practiced law for 15 years in the Crow Global Network in different countries with multinational companies and cross-border transactions. And all this somehow started to figure out an idea. And Alex also is a big fan of organizing events. He organized several events that are dedicated to Web3 technologies in Narva, his hometown. And once I visited one of the events, and I started to think, why not to create something in the legal industry? Because we in Estonia yet to have, and also in the Baltics, something really great in this area. And as we came to one legal design panel organized by Teltech Law School and met there several great experts from legal design. For instance, Helena Hapia, and also this director of Tallinn Teltech Law School, Tanel Kerikmäe, and his associate Ebru Metin, who are also a part of our team with FutureLaw. We started to think that we should definitely engage everyone in creating a great event. So we started to prepare the agenda, looking for speakers, forming the format of the event, creating branding and all other stuff. That's how it actually started from the very beginning. But how it will be continuing, we will see in the future. Currently, it's only 2 events and many webinars. We also started a separate project, FutureLaw webinars. We also issue this FutureLaw newsletter in order to provide some good stuff to our audience from different experts as well. That's also part of our strategy. And our general goal to develop this space legal tech area in our region and to help local companies to grow, because we yet to have such a great success in legal tech area as in the US, UK, and other parts of the world.
One thing I would point out is that I think, I mentioned before, I'd never been to Estonia before, but one of the things I learned when I was getting around town, I used Bolt, the car sharing service there, which is kind of like Uber for those listening. I learned from the drivers that, Estonia is like so progressive when it comes to technology that it just seems like the perfect place to have this kind of event and to bring people together around legal technology, because there's already so much technology that's being used throughout life in Estonia. For example, just for people listening in, like it was explained to me that if you wanted to buy a car, I'm originally from California. If you wanted to buy a car, you have to file paperwork with the Department of Motor Vehicles in Los Angeles. And that, just waiting in line could take you 3 hours to get inside the building. But that in Estonia, you could actually do it on your phone within, he said, the driver I spoke with said like 50 seconds, you could transact that business.
Yeah, technically, yes. Yeah.
That's amazing.
When I bought my recent car, I mean, also like I lived outside of Estonia most of my life. I grew up in London. I lived in Japan and in Malaysia. And when I came back to Estonia, I had my first experience in buying a car because, I've been outside for 17 years, and it felt very organic to me, but also I realized how fast that was. So we sat down with the guy whose car I'm buying. We logged into this thing, this portal. I signed the transaction. He signed the transaction. Boom, it's done. That's it. The car is mine. It was that easy.
Wow. Yeah, and you have companies like Skype based in Estonia, Pipedrive, which is one that I use a lot. It's a contact management system, is based in Estonia. And yeah, he also shared that you could do the paperwork which doesn't exist anymore, for buying a house like within 2 minutes. So very impressive, and definitely leading the way with technology, and now legal technology.
Yeah, for sure.
Alex,
a lot of this. I
No,
wanted to mention. Sorry to interrupt. I wanted to add one thing. A lot of people. So one of the reasons. Sorry, I'm kind of like jumping all over the place. So what Valentin mentioned, that I do Web3 conferences. This is how it started, and one of the reasons why I started doing Web3 conferences is because at one point in time, when there was massive hype around cryptocurrencies, Estonia was like at the forefront of leading the world in crypto freedom. Like they were giving out lots of crypto licenses. It wasn't great. They had to withdraw like 70% of those licenses in the end. But anyway,
90.
no, sorry, 90. Yeah. So Estonian government, our e-government system is using the blockchain technology to store data. For example, the voting data. Of course, it's not public blockchain like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all this kind of stuff, but it gets stored on blockchain. And a lot of people don't know this. And when I tell people this is pretty crazy, because they always associate this with hype, like this blockchain equals hype. But actually, there you go. A whole government has been using this since 2014 or even earlier. I don't remember. So this is also why it shows how flexible and progressive Estonia is as a country in terms of tech.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing because I know like, you know, in the US and I've heard the talk in the UK about it, kind of like in the hypothetical, like, oh, we could use blockchain for keeping unique records and making sure that like if we were to transfer title, that there's actually unique deeds or unique, you know, unique designations of ownership, and that would be an interesting idea, but to actually see it put into practice, you know, it just
Yep,
proves that it can be done.
But also
absolutely.
talking about Estonia, we should also underline that all these digital ecosystems that we use here in Estonia in order to establish companies, in order to fill tax declarations, in order to make any transactions and sign any documents in a digital way, it is also available for any foreign country because we have this e-residency program. One of our workshops was also dedicated to this program, and it showcased two startups from Denmark and Germany that were founded using this program. Any foreign citizen can apply for e-residency to get it, and then to have a possibility to establish a company in Estonia online and to manage everything online. So this is also one of the strategies of our government to attract foreign investors, foreign businesses, and to actually push our businesses and our country's economy forward. So yes, it's a good place to start a company, but I would be definitely suggesting to anyone who would like to start a company in Estonia to think in advance where it will be also operating, because you still have to admit that Estonia is a small country. It's not a great market. It's a great ecosystem and great foundation for any company in the world. We also have many other great companies, not only Bolt or Skype. We have 11 unicorns. And for example, Wise is one of the best companies in Estonia. This fintech company that is actually also listed at the London exchange. Yeah. So there are a lot of companies that were built here, and some of them are even built by foreigners. For instance, there is a company named Glia. It was founded by foreigners.
Yeah.
And run by this e-residency program.
So for some Americans that might be watching, like the analogy that comes to mind for me is the state of Delaware in the United States. Like the state of Delaware it's like the everyone within the US goes there to create a corporation. You know, like if they're serious about building their company and going public someday, they incorporate in Delaware because Delaware it made everything about making the laws about corporations as friendly to companies as possible. And so that's kind of their thing. right, is corporations and companies. And that's why a lot of businesses have incorporated in Delaware. It seems to me kind of like a similar strategy that Estonia has taken, except in terms of, well, partly in terms of companies, but also just electronic commerce. One question I
Mhm.
have, if you know, is just how that came to be. Like, why was there why was there that initiative within Estonia to do that?
I think it's all started after the collapse of the Soviet Union, and my phone just told me that it's going to die in 30 seconds. So maybe Valentin will have to continue, but Estonia had to rebuild, basically build from scratch. And how to survive, how can a small country on the outskirts of Europe survive, is to innovate as much as possible and attract as much as possible foreign investments, foreign money. And I think this is where it was born, because Estonians themselves will not be able to build as many startups. So let's bring more foreign startups here.
That does make a lot of sense. And Valentin, I think you just sent me a there's already an article written about this, Delaware versus Estonia,
Yeah,
where you should incorporate your
but
startup.
yeah, by the way, it was written by us several years ago.
Okay.
So you can actually compare Estonia to Delaware when it comes to establishing a company, a business, a startup. So yeah, we are quite similar in a sense. That's true. Also, the reason why Estonia is pushing that much this digital transformation in every sector of the business is because again we are quite small country. We are quite young country because we were independent for not that much time as some other countries, and this is the reason why we had to build something that would be possible to develop fast enough and to grow our economy and our businesses smoothly and widely, if I can say so, on global markets, not only internally within our small market. That is also one of the reasons from my point of view.
So speaking about business, let's turn the conversation a little bit to your startup, Legit. Is it pronounced Legit?
Well, you can pronounce it differently. Mostly we call it legit.
Legend. Okay. Like a
Legit.
legend.
Legit, yes.
Yeah.
But you can pronounce it as you like, because the word legit derives from two words, legal and ID.
Oh, okay.
That's how it was actually created from the very beginning.
Got it. So legal and ID, legend.
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay, so share with me a little bit more about Legend and what it does, and you're both partners on that too, right?
That's correct. That's how our partnership uh, started. That's how it was built in the very beginning. During Corona times, I had quite a lot of time, because we were sitting at home, working from home, and there was also this frustration in me with the legal industry itself, because a lot of people could not afford legal services. A lot of lawyers could not start a proper career right away after the university. And we were thinking of building some product that would help both sides of the market and provide people with access to justice and to young lawyers a possibility to start an independent career within the legal industry. And that was the main goal at the time. But as any product, it was iterated a lot. We changed it many times. Now it's a legal market network that combines a marketplace and some SaaS tools as well for lawyers in order to make their work easier, faster, and that's it. Basically connects two sides of the market, lawyers and clients. Mostly we have business clients from SMEs, small and medium companies, as well as startups. And from the lawyers side, these are usually solo lawyers or also medium boutique law firms that are practicing different in different legal areas. We automate some admin tasks for lawyers. We provide them with different tools in order to make their work faster. We provide clients with a service that gives them a possibility to find a lawyer fast enough and to resolve their issues in a good and timely manner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, I see you've come back from the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a power bank, so I just quickly connected my phone back up. Yeah,
Oh,
I
awesome.
can't believe how quickly Zoom drains my battery.
Well, if you could share with us like your story about coming together on Legend, excuse me, yeah, alleged, legend,
Legit,
Legend.
legit,
legend,
legit,
and
legit. Whichever way, it works. It works either way. But I mean, yeah, I think Valentin covered most of it. I was doing my startups, and one failed. I started the second one. Second one was doing okay, and then Valentin, and then there was the third one, and I was doing projects. I was doing lots of things, and Valentin came and said, "Look, I want to build an app for lawyers." And I said, "Okay, well, we need to figure out whether there's actually a market to build for, like where there's actually a problem." Because I've been through this, I've built products that nobody needs, and we did customer development, all this kind of stuff, and we figured out, okay, I mean, there obviously are some issues. We interviewed both the client side and the lawyer side, the service provider side, and it seems that everything just was coming together. So we started building this app, and yeah, it's been over 3 years now. So yeah.
in a way, what you're bringing, it sounds like, to the attorney-client relationship is the same kind of ease that that is available with just everything else in Estonia, like to make it frictionless, right? Like to make a frictionless type of
Yeah.
relationship and service.
Yeah, initially we did want to make like an Uber for lawyers or Uber for legal services, but we also quickly realized, but that's not exactly um, how legal services work. You don't use a lawyer every day or like 3 times a day. It's an occasional kind of thing. So we quickly also realized, yes, it could be an Uber for lawyers, but specifically it needs to be for B2B clients, someone who has a demand for legal services on a frequent basis. And for the regular clients, it doesn't work that way. So we kind of semi-abandoned the B2C market, and we've refocused on B2B.
How would you two say that AI is affecting your business? Because, at the conference, of course, everyone talking about AI and the implications and how it's affecting things. With your particular service, has it affected you two? And what plans, if any, do you have for incorporating it if you do it all?
Well, we did think about incorporating AI, but more as an assistant for lawyers to reply quicker to clients, to formulate better answers or uh, research faster. A client still wants a lawyer who is a human, because the AI, as great as it is, I'm sure it will get even better. I mean, look, it's getting better every minute. Like, not even every year, it's getting better every minute and more smart. It's scary, but the human still values this human approach, and clients want a real lawyer to deal with certain tasks. Yes, if you want to file a complaint, there are loads of automation tools for complaints, for like to file a complaint to the airline if they delayed you or whatever it is, like basic stuff, which is very, very standardized. Once you get out of the standardized world, then it becomes a creative task. And unless we get a mid journey for the legal services, I don't see lawyers losing their jobs anytime soon, or us losing our clientele.
And I think one area of business that's definitely safe from AI is conferences because
Yeah,
it's people coming together.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's true. Actually, I would also add that our app also uses this AI approach rather than AI itself to segment cases that we get from clients in order to divide them faster among lawyers using legal areas as keywords. But as Alex said, yes, we want to also use it further for lawyers to help them reply to questions and legal tasks faster. And I would also agree with Alex that AI can replace a lot, but not everything. And we still need lawyers because otherwise there won't be any legal industry at all.
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask you a little bit about your future plans for FutureLaw. Like, you guys are definitely doing it next year, right?
We will.
Are we?
We
Yes,
will.
I think we are. I think we are.
Awesome, because I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. And do you think that you'll have it at the same venue? Are there any plans in the works for a different place or maybe different subject matter? Like, or maybe it's just too
You
early.
know,
I know you guys are just relaxing from having put on the big conference.
to be honest, for me, this venue is the best venue that I have seen in Tallinn, where you have a balance of um, how do you say that, old and new, and like what's it called, daylight and artificial light, because there are cool venues. For example, Kultuurigatal, which is like an old abandoned factory, but it's all indoors and it looks amazing. It looks amazing. You have all these LEDs lighting up all these walls, and you have all these metal bits and ladders and all this crazy stuff sticking out of the walls, and you look up and it's amazing. But there's no real light. So this venue kind of combines the best of the both worlds. Lots of real light, and people don't feel confined. So I really love this venue. I don't know what Valentin will say for next year, but I hope we use this venue again.
I've never been to a better venue, if to be honest. This venue is just perfect. There are certain disadvantages, of course, and we already heard of them from our attendees of this year. But still, regardless of all the disadvantages, there are too many advantages to abandon this venue. So I would say that it will be definitely at the same venue.
Well, excellent choice. I love that place. Do you think like the subject matter would change up a bit? Or I mean, there was a lot of discussion about AI and other things. Do you think that maybe the topics might change at all?
The topics will change for sure, because if we even compare our last year's conference and this year conference, it was very much different, and maybe only one or two topics were the same. As to the next year, I just feel that we will be talking even more about data, AI, and their accuracy. That's what I feel will be the major topics for the next year. Already this year, data was probably the major topic, not even AI. Yes, we had a lot of talks about AI, but still data was at the core of every discussion, because legal industry needs accurate data, otherwise it won't work. AI can be a great tool, but it cannot replace lawyers. We need to figure out this balance between using AI assistants, language models, and data. The data should be definitely our gold, our oil in the industry that we will be using for the benefit of our clients and ourselves as well.
Agreed. Do you, is it working for you? Like, has the conference, are you happy with how it's gone? Has it benefited your business? Has it expanded the people that you know and gotten to make new friends? Like, how's the personal impact been for each of you?
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, the conference was also always a part of our long-term marketing strategy for our legal tech startup, because it does create a community. It creates lots of connections that are then useful, and then we can share those connections with within our network. And yeah, so has it impacted right now? I mean, yes. I mean, it definitely expanded our visibility. It definitely expanded our network. But as we are at a certain stage of the product where we can't use what we've gained during the conference yet, I can't say that yes, 100% it was super beneficial. But once we release our final version of the product that we've been working on for the past half year, then we can talk about this again.
How about you, Valentin?
I would definitely say that this year's conference was very impactful overall for us, because we expanded our network of professionals a lot. We met a lot of great experts from different countries. The last year, for example, our conference was also international, but rather regional, because we had mostly people from the Baltics, Scandinavia, and some parts of Europe. But this year, conference was absolutely international, diverse, so many people from different countries, top level speakers, including yourself. And many other great representatives from great companies from the USA, UK. So it was really amazing, and I would definitely want to meet all these people again, because as an organizer, I couldn't find enough time to speak with everyone. I can definitely say that I spoke a lot to Daza and Damien, because they sat all the time in the speaker's room where I got some rest as well. But with many others, I couldn't find enough time. That's why I would be definitely keen on connecting with them and meeting with them again.
Yeah, I think that's amazing, and I really hope that it does work to your benefit. I don't see how it couldn't, because you know, getting to meet new people and increasing one's network is really about, you know, making new acquaintances and friends and having them understand what you're about and getting to know you authentically. And I think you guys really did a good job of communicating that. You know, not just the marketing side, but like your authentic selves, and sharing your you know, your vision with everyone, because that definitely came through. And so, you know, one of the purposes of having you on the show is I really wanted to get this story out to more of you know, the American viewers that I have, and hopefully they'll tell other people about it, that you know, FutureLaw in Tallinn, Estonia. It's definitely worthwhile. You should check it out. Not only is the conference educational and informative and lots of great, interesting, and very smart people, but it's also a beautiful city. I walked around, checked it out, and because we were staying like right on the port, I was able to take the ferry across to Helsinki on a free day that I had, and that was absolutely amazing. So it's definitely a region that people should check out and learn more about. Um, with that, I just want to ask you two before we go, um, how can people learn more about what you're doing? How can they learn more about the conference, learn more about Legid, and keep in touch with you? Let's start with you, Valentin.
Thank you. Thank you for your words again. And I would say that if one wants to meet us, to learn more about us, definitely visit our channels, social media, because we post a lot of information about upcoming events, about our product as well. And we will be definitely organizing several more events in the future. Definitely come to FutureLaw to meet all those people that are enthusiastic and keen on developing this space, legal tech space, because they are those people who will be responsible for the change. And if you want to meet us, to learn about us, and to be part of this, just come to FutureLaw and you will learn it.
How about you, Alex?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, first of all, feel free to add me or Valentin. I hope he won't refuse on LinkedIn. Alexander Bitskov or Valentin Feklistov on LinkedIn. Just please do say where you heard from us. I mean, with me, I'm getting lots of bot requests, and I'm not sure whether they're bots or not. So I'm not accepting. But if you do say that you've heard it on the podcast, then let's connect, let's talk, and the same for Valentin. Yeah, visit ledger.app if you want to see what we do with the legal marketplace, or futurelaw.ee for the conference. And I'm really hoping that we'll get more American viewers, American attendees, your viewers at our conference next year.
Well, definitely. I hope you do as well. And I want to thank you both so much for being on the show. For everyone watching and listening, definitely check out FutureLaw 2025 coming to you from Tallinn, Estonia. You should definitely get some tickets to that and check it out, because it's going to be a great time. So again, thank you, Valentin. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching the LawDroid Manifesto podcast. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching the latest episode of the LawDroid Manifesto podcast. To keep in the loop about upcoming episodes, please subscribe to LawDroid Manifesto and you'll get notified. Thanks for watching. See you next time.